Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing another review video for you, and today's review is going to be about my newly arrived WE G17. This is, however, the stainless steel version, so definitely a first time for me to own one of these type of Airsoft G pistols. I gotta say I was super impressed with how this looked when I opened the box, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do a brief overview, just kind of throw some information at you about the pistol, where I got it from, my input, my opinion on it, and then maybe some extra details here and there. So basically what I'm going to just go ahead and go over first is the box you'll end up receiving it is going to be just a regular G Series 17 box by WE right there in the corner. So this one's going to be directly from Taiwan or China, where it came from, as you can tell by the text. So in the box, what you're going to receive, of course, is the manual. So I'm not going to really go over it, but it's basically a manual that's going to give you the full breakout of the gun, all the information. A lot of it is written in multiple languages, and then an exploded diagram. So that's the manual. What you also get in the box is you get the two pistol hand grips, like with all the WEG pistols, and then you also get the pins for them as well, the long ones just to poke the pins out, so then you can change it either for this one or put it back to the old one that's in the corner in there. But anyway, so now going into the pistol itself, I gotta say, first impression, when you first look at it, it looks incredibly well made in my opinion. I think they did a great job, especially with this beautiful polished steel, or not steel, it's like imitation. It looks like steel, but it's not. But this polished metal here, it looks very amazing, and the craftsmanship, I gotta say, is really nice on that, and I think it's pretty unique. I just was interested in this because it reminded me of one of my favorite movies, which is Bad Boys 2, where Will Smith's character had this one, and I always just liked it, and then I came across it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna definitely get this one. You know, it's one of my favorite pistols, you know, came from one of my favorite movies, and you know, I couldn't pass up the offer that they had on the website. It was a really good price. So covering materials that I have for this pistol, looks like what they primarily made it with is going to be half plastic, half metal. So as you know, with all the WEG series and even the real Glock are all going to have a polymer lower frame. The parts are going to be plastic, are going to be the trigger, the mag release, the mag base, the whole lower frame, obviously. And then the part that gets into the metal is going to be the polished metal here, the outer inner barrel, the little tabs here to release the slide, or to field strip the pistol. The pin in there is going to be also metal. Then you got this little ejector pin, metal. Then the blowback housing is also metal. Also the plastic is going to be on these sights here as well. So oh yeah, and the recoil spring, of course. And then you can kind of see in there, it's kind of like a brass tube in there for the inner barrel. And for the most part, material wise, that's what you're going to be looking at when you first see the pistol. For the magazine, obviously it's going to have to be metal. The mag base is going to be, of course, plastic, and it does come removable. You see the button there? You can push the button, that'll slide off. Then you have your valve there to fill it up with gas. And then go ahead and close that up, push that in, and slide it over. And then that's the magazine. So a little bit of plastic just for that little pipe there. So that's going to be construction of the pistol. So pretty standard if you've seen some of my G pistol reviews. The material is identical. There's really absolutely no difference. I mean, other than some of the custom ones that I have, but like I said, this is all bone stock. So I'm gonna go back to the magazine real quick. So just a quick overview of the magazine. It's gonna be holding anywhere from 25 to 26, 27 rounds. It is double stacked. So this is powered by propane and green gas. So you could fill it there like mentioned. And then you could probably get about 3 mags out of this on a nice day, maybe like 85, 90 degrees. And that's about it. They do have CO2 conversion magazines, but the nozzle in there is not that great to handle that much power, so you are going to have to do a nozzle swap on that if you ever want to use CO2, which I've been actually thinking about doing at one point, but you know, just haven't had the time to really research it and see what's good. to replace for a CO2 one. So now into okay, going kind of back with the gas pistol or magazine, power wise. So this is going to be shooting on, I usually use green gas. I don't use anything else. I use propane sometimes when I don't have any gas. But anyway, it's going to be right around 280 to 300 feet per second, and that's with the 0.2 gram BB. It'll be a little bit less if you use a 0.25, maybe drops it to about 250 to 275 feet per second. But anyway, that's for the power. Now I'll go ahead and talk about the trademarks on the pistol. As you guys do know, with the G pistols, or if you don't know, there was a lot of trademark and copyright issues with any Airsoft Glock replicas. So the company Glock that produces the real steel version of this definitely had a lot of lawsuits with Airsoft companies where they sued them for essentially imitating their product, which they do not like that. So I'm not too sure if there'll ever be anything like that in the future to where we can purchase fully trade, Airsoft Glocks. That'd be very cool. But at this point, you're just gonna have to order custom parts, and then those parts will have the full engravings on them. So what you'll end up getting out of the box when you purchase the WE is going to be just the regular G logo without anything else in the middle there. You'll still get the 17. Instead of Austria, you have tactical, and then you'll still have the 9x19. So that's going to be the top portion on this side. On the bottom here, you can see it says Gen 4 instead of Glock, or usually there's some kind of a G or Glock logo on the real one. Flipping it over, back to the slide again. So the outer barrel here, you have the WET, which is going to be WE's trademark for all their pistols, for the G series at least. Then you have their little badges, and then you have WE. And then also on the slide here, you have WET, and then the four-digit serial number, and then you also have their stamps right there as well. And then going back down to the frame, you have Made in Taiwan. That's usually where it says Austria or something else, made in US. On the real one, I'm not 100% on that. Then on the bottom, you have the patent pending. So usually, I guess I'll probably say something like, patent, 4 million something like I have on my custom Glock. Just to kind of show you as an example. 1 second. So like right here. So this one's my custom. It says US patent, and it has all these. And then down here it says Made in Austria Glock. And then over here it says Glock on there. So that's what the real one would usually have. But like I said, they're trying to get away with as less trade information as possible, but still trying to keep us happy as much as possible by putting something there that relates to the actual Glock trades. But so that's the trades you'll get with the actual pistol itself. Going into field stripping the pistol, so usually you take out the magazine, and then you just rack the slide to engage the hammer in there. Then you have these tabs, one on here, one on the other. So you're going to have to pull both of those down at the same time. And then even if you just tilt the gun, the slide will go, or you can just push it like that with your thumb. Then it comes out like so. You have your lower frame, and then you have your slide. How they used to do it, when a lot of US major retailers sold them, they would actually ship these two separately. They'd ship the slide by itself, and then they'd ship the lower frame by itself, just to avoid any issues. I guess they found some loopholes in the contract, I guess, and were able to do that, but obviously they got caught up in the situation, so they no longer do that. So because they no longer really sell, even Airsplat, the company I used to order a lot of these from, even they started to not sell them anymore due to their new ownership from what I was looking at, and I really don't like the new layout that they have, so I kind of don't really go to them as much as I used to, which is a shame. I was really into their company and I like buying from them, but they had a change and I really didn't like it. Anyway, going back to the pistol, so this is what's going to be the inside of the G17. So material, you're going to have the little cheapy metal, which is going to be held by that one screw. And then you have the whole assembly with the trigger, and then you have that little safety on the trigger. Then you have the spring for this little bar here to activate the hammer. And then you also have a spring there for this slide release. And then going into the hammer assembly, you're going to have the WE little wheel here. that rolls through when the slide's coming back. It just rolls and then locks the hammer back, and then that's the little chamber that it's in. So I'll go ahead and disengage it for you. So you see that it comes up like that, and then you can see the hammer, and then you see the trigger's locked right now. You just have to tap on this little thing to unlock it, like so. So then you can put the hammer back like that. So that's the lower frame. Now the slide. So it's very simple to take these apart, which is why I love this pistol. It's really easy and useful when it comes to cleaning. So you have the recoil spring. It's the first thing you're going to take out. So that's one. Then next is going to be the inner and outer barrel, like so. So there's the inner barrel, outer barrel. And then you also have this little plastic piece. It's actually wedged in there pretty good, so I'm not going to take it out. But anyway, that plastic piece comes out, and then you can, you know, if you have a custom recoil rod, sometimes you might have to do some work on there to get it to fit. But that's the inside of the slide there. Then there's a blowback housing that's held in by that screw. If you need to take that out, unscrew it, and then this whole casing should all just come out smoothly. And then that's how you take that apart. So if you ever needed to clean it, it's very simple. For hop-up adjustment, it is going to be on the inner barrel itself, on this little housing attached to the inner barrel. You can see that little wheel right there. That's the little piece that you end up turning to adjust your hop-up. Usually factory hop-up is pretty good for me. I never have to tinker with it too much. But anyway, that's how you disassemble. Now reassembly. Simply just go in reverse order, put the inner barrel in the outer barrel, then put the assembly inside the slide, and then the last piece is going to be putting in this recoil rod, like so, and then make sure that it lines up and goes right up against that piece, and then align the rails. Well, sometimes it doesn't like to, there we go, and then go ahead, lock it back, give it a nice just cock right there. It sounds very odd, I know. And then just make sure everything works. Okay, so everything's good. And that's that right there. And then when it comes to accuracy, I don't know exactly how accurate it is at a long distance range. Usually I don't give pistols more than like 50-60 feet, just because the barrel is only like that long. But it's fairly accurate from my experience with these pistols. I definitely love the bracket sights on these. It's more futuristic. The dot ones, I'm not really, you know, I'm okay with those. Not a huge fan, but it works for me. I'm not really picky with those. But with these, I kind of like these just because they're very vibrant. You could see the colors fairly well, even when it's a little bit dimmer outside. So that's definitely nice. I guess one last thing I'll touch is the weight. I like how realistic the weight is on this. It's probably like a little bit over a pound and a quarter maybe, something like that. It's definitely pretty sweet for the feel, for the weight. So you'll definitely get a kick out of that. And then I guess that really covers the basic information. My take on this is I recommend it for beginner airsofters that don't have, you know, a lot of money. Like, it's a good budget type pistol, because I only ended up paying like 60-70 bucks. I mean, it's the freight that will get you, since I did get this from an international airsoft retailer. So the freight's gonna be what kind of screws you, but in the long run, you're gonna spend probably $90 in total for when you get the product. So I think it's pretty affordable, and you know, it's convenient for anybody that's just not really getting into airsoft. I shouldn't probably say beginner, maybe like intermediate, something in the middle. You know, if they're looking to upgrade from like maybe a Springer or something, or you know, maybe just a crappy blowback that you had, you know, it's kind of running down a little bit. This is a good recommendation, something to start, something to add in your arsenal, and it's unique in my opinion. I like the uniqueness of it. You know, they're fairly hard to come by nowadays, which I like that I have my collection and I'm still able to get these, but you know, you have to do some research to see where you can even get some of these. So that's kind of, you know, the coolness to it, is they're not too common. And I think for feel, power, you know, reliability, I think it kind of hits the nail on the head for me, and that's why I've been buying these, just because the craftsmanship is very good in my opinion. I know they get a bad rep for cheapy parts and whatnot, but hey, it's replaceable. If you're really dedicated into your sport, you're gonna want your hobby to live. It's like having a car. You love your car, you got to take care of it. You're gonna have to replace parts at one point in its lifetime. So it's gonna end up breaking parts on you. I've had it happen already. I just was proactive and I just found what parts I needed and fixed it, and then it's back to normal. So it really depends too. It can get a little bit expensive, but sometimes if it's as easy as fixing a broken hammer, fixing a broken nozzle, that's only going to cost you like 20 bucks and then maybe $5 in shipping. So it's definitely affordable when it breaks, which is nice. They have tons of parts for these pistols, which is, you can pretty much build one from scratch from the parts that you can find. But for the most part, it's all good things in my opinion. I really don't have anything negative. I will agree that the parts are not so strong when you get it straight out of the box, but hey, you'll cross that bridge when you get there when it comes to repairs. Like I said, it's not horrible. And it also comes to maintaining, lubricating parts that, create most friction, and just kind of, keeping the gun nice and clean inside, just like a real firearm. You want it to last, you got to take care of it. But anyway, that's kind of all I had for you guys for today for this G17 series review for WE. If you guys have any other questions for me, please let me know in the comments, or you can send me a message, do anything. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to check me out there, I have links already in the description. If you guys want to message me on there, go for it. I'm available across all platforms. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. You guys have a great day.